Scott Jenkins here with the Thunderbirds, your 2021 tournament chair, and I have the pleasure of having Chez Reavie with me today. Two-time winner on the PGA Tour, 2018 runner-up to our tournament, the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Pride of Mesa, Dobson Hall of Fame, Dobson High School Hall of Fame. Chez, how are we doing today? What's going on?
Yeah, great. Yeah, great. Happy to be here.
All right, so we'll just get this out of the way. I mean, you obviously diehard Arizona State, Sun Devil. I root for the Cats. We'll keep it civil today. You know, greatest rivalry in all sports, the Territorial Cup. We'll talk a little golf. Tell me what have you been up to? How are you playing? What are you working on?
You know, I'm playing well. I got all my old equipment back in the bag. I'm playing all my old TaylorMade stuff, and just had to work out a little kinks. But I'm hitting nice, high, tight draws now, and I just got to get that putter hot and see what we can do.
Tell me a little bit about your experience first with the return to golf and what it was like without fans.
I mean, I'm a social guy. I like saying hi to people. I like hearing cheers when you hit good shots. And, you know, it's just something we've really missed. It's a great energy that we have on the tour. So, you know, not having it this year was really strange.
When golf fans hear Chez Reavie, they think immediately of your ball striking skills. I think Charlie Hoffman's called you the par 3 assassin. Tell me a little bit of mindset, you know, the difference between, you know, a par 3 versus a 4 or 5, you know, where you got the driver out, and what makes you so successful in the par 3s.
Yeah, so it's just what I said. It's just distance control with my irons. You know, for me, being a shorter hitter on tour, I just really have to be dialed in and make sure, you know, that the ball contact is really solid. And, you know, that's how I'm going to control my distances.
The latest number I heard with your hole-in-ones was 20 plus. Where are you at with aces?
I've got 23 so far.
Okay. Do you remember the first one? I'm sure you do. Where was the first one?
The first one was at Riverview, which is a 9-hole golf course there in Mesa, public track. I was 12 years old, so that was my first one. I think I hit a 5-iron from like 115 yards and hold it.
Awesome. And what's the last one on tour?
Last one on tour was in the World Golf Championship in Mexico earlier this year.
How do you attack TPC Scottsdale when you're playing it during the Waste Management Phoenix Open? What's your mindset? Because you've had a ton of success at our course.
Yeah, so, you know, the first few years I didn't have much success, and I think for me I was just being too aggressive, especially from the fairways. I was playing too aggressive and I was making stupid bogeys. And so the last 4 or 5 years or so, I've actually just picked my spots better and been aggressive when I had good numbers, and then when I didn't, I'd play, you know, more towards the middle of the green. So I made the same amount of birdies. I just stopped making bogeys, and that's why I've been at the top of the leaderboard.
Let's go back to the 2018 tournament where you're battling out with Gary Woodland. Birdied the final 2 holes before going to the playoffs. Can you take me a little bit through how that ended and you know, with the playoff and just kind of your mindset? And obviously you're super popular at our tournament, being an ASU guy. All the fans were behind you. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, you know, it was amazing. The Phoenix Open, to me, it's a major. You know, I grew up carrying signboards there, and, you know, I've been at the tournament my entire life pretty much. And so, you know, to birdie the last 2 holes to force a playoff was a dream come true. And I think I got so fired up, you know, when I made that putt to force a playoff, and then it was like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't win. I've got to go. I've got to still play another hole. It kind of just got to me a little bit. My emotions got too high, and I didn't quite control it as well in the playoff. But, you know, it was a great experience, and it's something I would never change. And, you know, hopefully I'll get another chance to win.
You mentioned carrying signs back in the day as a kid. You know, a lot of people know that as a standard bearer. You know, it's an honor to do that at any PGA Tour event. But can you tell us how you landed that gig and any favorite memories as a standard bearer with some, you know, being a golfer and seeing the guys that you looked up to? Any great memories?
Yeah, you know, I have a ton of great memories. I carried the sign for Payne Stewart. I carried the sign for Phil Mickelson. And, you know, just as a kid, you know, they just seemed like giants to me. It's like they weren't even human. They were just like these, you know, amazing people. And so for me, I think it started, my parents, they were kind of like, okay, you know, you can go carry the signboard if your grades are good. So they used it to kind of motivate me, to kick me in the butt to get good grades. And, you know, so I made sure my grades were good every year so I could go do it.
So I believe your first time at our event was 2006. Can you, and you were there on a sponsor exemption. Can you walk me through that experience, the first time playing in the Waste Management Phoenix Open?
Yeah, I mean, it was a dream come true. All of a sudden I'm, walking the fairways, playing golf like I'd done as a kid, only now, I'm counting a score and, walking on the range and just seeing all the Thunderbirds, they were all rooting me on. And, it was almost hard. I was younger. So it was like, I just put so much pressure on myself because I wanted to play well so bad for everyone there. And, all my family and friends, everyone was there. So, it took me a year or two to kind of calm down and just say, okay, let's just go play golf the way you play every day. And that's why I've started to play better there.
You start hearing the noise, even on the front nine, but it's now the 14th hole. It's the par 5 15th hole. Do you have any approach? Say it's a Saturday, it's packed, as you're approaching the last 3 holes, how do you attack that? How do you deal with the fans? How do you deal with all the crowds?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Even when I hit a bad shot and I get booed, I'm laughing and, I'm enjoying the moment. And I love it even more when you hit a good shot up there and you can just, feel the vibrations from everybody going nuts in the stands. And, for me, I think it kind of starts more when I'm on 15T, and I get up there in the fairway on 15 and you can kind of hear everyone talk and you can hear the all the screams and the yells and all that fun stuff. And then, once you put out on 15, you take a few deep breaths and try and get your heart rate down when you get to the tee so you don't hit a pitching wedge over the green.
So I think most people know that our fans, especially on 16, do their homework. The chants, they'll do a little research. Anything stick out as far as clever or impressive that you've heard from them?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that sticks out the most is when they know your parents' names and your wife's name and your sister's name, and you miss the green. You're like, your dad taught you better. Van Reeve taught you how to do better than that. So you can just tell that they've kind of read up on you and they know what they're talking about when they give you a hard time.
In addition to obviously hosting the tour event here in Phoenix, the Thunderbirds are really involved with junior golf as well as even collegiate golf. Can you tell us a little bit about the partnership between the Thunderbirds and ASU and the new practice facility and kind of what that's meant to Arizona State?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. The Thunderbirds, I got to know them in junior golf, because I grew up here in Arizona. So that was my first experience with the Thunderbirds. And then, I go to ASU and then I see them, helping us with the fundraisers, running our fundraiser, creating charity auction, stuff to raise money and just they help everybody in every facet, and then I graduate from ASU, get on tour and, they supported me, gave me sponsors exemptions. And then now they, helped build an amazing practice facility there at Papago. I mean, it's the best practice facility in the world. Anywhere I've been, it's just as good as any of them. And to be a college kid and come in and be able to use that to help yourself get better and, maybe, follow your dreams further and win on tour and, become the best in the world. It's just how much you guys give as Thunderbirds is incredible.
Well, Chaz, anytime we've ever asked you for anything, you've always, immediately said yes. You're a great friend of our group. You're a great friend of our tournament. Our fans love you. We appreciate you coming out to our event every year. So thanks again for your time.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I'll see you in February.